Welcome to the Tearing It Up podcast. I'm your host, Taryn. We'll be tearing it up, tearing it down, and tearing it apart, dissecting all things related to those who deviate from the standard. From leaders of their industry to leaders of mediocrity, and maybe a gear review or two thrown in. We shoot the shit and let the conversations flow, so if that's not your style, this may not be for you. Otherwise, listen in. Hope to light a fire in you somehow. Hello, universe, internet universe. Yeah. We are here. TNA Thursday is what it will be. Technically today it is Tuesday, so still with the alliteration there. I love some alliteration. I'm excited to catch up. It's been a couple weeks. We've had a couple guests, and the last time Amber and I chatted with the TNA was right after the Sturdy Dirty. And I'm home now, been home for a few weeks, and we've just gotten straight back to our normal everyday kind of life. So, and with having guests for a couple weeks, we ourselves actually need to catch up in some real time about what the heck's been going on. It is the last couple days of July. It'll be August 1st when this comes out, and then it will be almost Amber's birthday. And we just have a birthday summer. But it has been, so we know with like the Sturdy Dirty, it was so fucking hot across the West. Like everywhere was hot. And it remained hot. Like when I got back to Tahoe, actually there was a couple days that were a little bit chilly and we had some thunderstorms and rain. It was so lovely. And then it got hot again. The last couple days it did cool back down. Nothing super major, but I mean it feels major. Mid 70s to like high 70s felt major, like from 90. And then in the nighttime, that's the thing. Like it hadn't been really cooling down in the nighttime. And I was like, this is insane, dude. Normally we can drop down to the 50s, open all the windows at night, sleep comfortably. But I was waking up and it was still almost like 70 degrees inside the trailer with all windows open. Like, this is absolutely nutty. But it's been a little bit chilly. Like I noticed leaving CrossFit this morning that my truck said it was 44 degrees outside, and I was a little bit chilly from being sweaty. So like I'm actually in sweats and a sweatshirt right now, and I don't hate it. I love it. I have been wanting, so I'm by no means ready for fall or anything. I just, as we know, we don't like the heat, like in the 90s. I love being able to throw a sweatshirt on, but still being able to like wear shorts or whatnot. Or, if I want to throw on a pair of pants, cool. But I would rather put a long sleeve on and wear shorts because I love shorts. I want to wear shorts. I don't want to wear pants yet, but I could throw a nice comfy sweatshirt on. There's just something about, a nice hoodie to throw on and feel nice and cozy. And you just don't feel cozy in the summer. You just feel hot all the time.
Yeah. And you don't want clothes touching you or
hair
totally you or
I've been just like in as minimal clothes as possible.
Yes.
But it's been nice. Like I said, it's cooled down a little bit in the mornings and evenings to be able to throw a layer on or shut the windows at least, and we still just have our one blanket and things. But it doesn't feel like summer is at the end. But we also haven't had like gray, rainy weather or anything. And I know you said you had a bit of a weather change up there. What's happening in the Northwest?
Yeah, it was gray and rainy yesterday. It's gray and rainy today, and I'm like,
oh really?
No, it's coming. But it's not. We still have all of August, and usually September is pretty dreamy too. So
we talked about this, I know, last summer because my previous job, we had so much going on in like the fall, like preparing for winter and stuff. So, like early August, I'm already thinking a few months ahead about these event series and winter events and all these things. So in my head, it was such a battle where I'm like, I'm already thinking about winter, so summer is over. I'm like, no, like live in the moment, summer's here. And I've noticed a huge difference this year, not being that far ahead in time, like for work, that I am able to be a little more present. And that's why for me, with the weather cooling down, it's just been so nice and such a reprieve, and I'm not worried. But that's also because we have an immense amount of sun. Like, it's not fucking rainy and gray here. I think if we had a day like that, it might feel that way to me and get those thoughts going. But I don't know. I guess I don't want summer to end, but at the same time, I've had like no energy since I got home. So no desire to like ride my bike at all.
Girl, same.
So I'm like,
Girl,
I don't fucking
same.
care. Like, I could care less. I'd rather like, get on my snowmobile or go cruise around on my cross country skis, and I think that again, it's just because of the weather, the heat, that I'm like, I don't want to go ride my bike in the heat when there feels like there's no cooling off, because even jumping in any body of water isn't like super cold right now. So I just haven't felt like I said, having the energy to do anything. Don't want to be any more hot than I am. But man, I really need to get back on my bike. I know when we chatted, I mentioned like, okay, nope, never a race again. But then one popped up, a first of its kind. Not first, the first one in California, like an all women's enduro from this organization that I followed for years. And I, had a split second thought of like, oh, maybe I will do that. But I've been able to make it to the gym a couple times a week, really shooting for 3 times, but it's really averaged out to only like 2 times, just because schedule and actually looking at the workout, like, I don't want to fucking do that, and I need to stop. But I want to get on my bike, because as I've always said too, once I get back on it, it's a little bit easier. But I don't know, it really fucked me, the sturdy, like mentally. I have no desire to ride a trail. I just want to ride gravel roads. And obviously I know gravel riding can be tough, right? But I just want to ride like a nice wide path. If I'm climbing, that's fine. But even the down, I don't know. I just felt so out of sorts, not like myself, not having control of my body, that I'm a little nervous to even get back on my bike and get on a trail, especially alone. But I'm like, there's no one around that I want to call right now to ride with. And I just want to do it solo. I don't know. I'm in a huge mental battle.
It freaked me out too, I could say. I didn't realize how fucking fast people go, and I'm like, I've always been okay with go on the down. Like, I've always been okay with like the pace that I go, because I'm just like, woo wee, wah, this is fun. And then to like put yourself up against other people who are just fucking fast, I'm like, no, there's like nothing in my body makes me want to go any faster than what I'm already going, because if something goes wrong, which anything can go wrong, it's over. It's fucking over. And it's not like it would be an on-the-job injury and everything would be like cool and cushy. Like, I have people depending upon me, and I don't have a lot of cushion to take time off if I fuck myself up. So,
absolutely.
I hear you.
It's interesting. Yeah, and it's interesting because our experiences are similar in how they made us feel at the end, but like different, the causes, right? Because for me, it wasn't the speed of the down. I was actually really annoyed that I wasn't going faster, because I didn't feel like in control. Like everything just felt off, which is funny too, because I've actually, since I got this bike that I have kind of felt a little less in control. And that's when I went to 29s. I'm like, shit, maybe I just am not a 29er, but now everything's 29. And I'm like, I just need to practice more and just get more comfortable with it. But it makes me think and wonder, like, equipment does matter, but it's so hard, like, to try out things like that, like different things that are so expensive. Like, how many bikes am I supposed to be able to like test and demo? And I also, I just don't have that budget anyways. Like, I go for a bike of a company I like, and in a budget, that I can afford. I'm not looking at all the geometry, the specs, the tech, all those things that could make a difference. Cause I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'm just average, just having fun. Yeah. If I'm actually really trying to competitively race, then maybe I would take those things a little more into consideration. But there are times that I'm like, God, what is going on here? And is there something that I could change with my actual like piece of equipment here that would make me feel better? Or is it really just the kind of the mental thing because I'm going through going fewer and far between rides or longer, whatever. Anyways, you know what I mean? But so when I got back, I went back to the gym, I don't know, the next week because I got back on a Wednesday. So I go to the gym Monday and work out, and my God, I started out like feeling fine and good. Literally, I don't know if it was even it might have been the second round of this workout, second or third. But hit the wall, gas just died. And I was like, God, I wasn't even like pushing super hard. I know that especially doing something like CrossFit, pacing yourself in a workout can be very important. And that is hard for me to find without feeling like I'm just totally dogging the first round or something. But I was for sure not pushing it 100% out of the gate, but like maybe a little bit harder. And then all of a sudden I couldn't even make it further. And I had to walk out and go to my truck and grab like my inhaler. I haven't been even emotional at all, but talking about it like fucking bothers me. And I don't feel like the inhaler does anything, but anyways, I just had to try it mid. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, okay, I haven't been here in about 2.5 weeks, been down at sea level, haven't been working out like this. So, and just tired, so many things, right? In my head, trying to keep myself calm that like, it's okay. But afterwards, just sitting down, just so disappointed, like what the actual fuck. And this woman came up to me after and she was like, do you have like regular asthma or exercise induced asthma? So I don't know if she saw me out the window like do my inhaler because I just did it at the truck and then threw it in there. But I was like, I don't know. She was like, well, you should take a couple puffs like before the exercise, and she was telling me like she used to run and it used to help, blah 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 blah. But I was just like, I told her, I was like, neither way, like I do, and it doesn't help, like nothing helps. And I just like started crying and then just like left. I was just like so fucking annoyed. And again, like what we talked about kind of in our last recap, so I don't want to make this a whole nother thing about me and that. But it was just hard. It makes it hard to go back, makes it hard to want to do anything because I don't want to feel like shit. And so I've been continuing to go to the gym, just taking it slow, taking things really light as far as weight, and it's just like, it is what it is. No one's judging me. And if they are, like, fuck them. But they have no idea what's going on because I don't even know what's going on. And for me, it's more important to at least like move my body, and where I feel like I can do that, where that's accessible for me right now, is in the gym. And it doesn't, and I feel really like scared to get on my bike because I think that's where it all like really happened and stemmed from, was the last time I was on my bike. And again, just like spending energy going uphill and needing that energy and body awareness and connection on the trail and feeling like I didn't have that. That's what's like kind of preventing me from getting back on the trail, is like, well, what if this is just going to happen again? And I don't want to feel that way, and I don't want to crash again. And I just like feel like I'm at a point of trying to figure out, trying to get my body to feel somewhat decent. But we did this little run today just in the warm up, and I only did it twice because I also bruised my heel playing fucking softball. So it just hurts to have a shoe on and run. But on the second run, just my breathing, I could tell like in my it was like heaving, like just in my chest, like audible, that I'm like, okay, like I didn't notice this scary, doing dude. I know, it was weird because I mean, the other workouts, and when I've gotten to this point in the last few weeks, it's like not a full-on asthma attack. I just feel, I don't know, because it's not like, oh my God, I can't breathe. It's more of like, I'm out of breath very quickly. But then this running, I was like, holy shit, it like trying to breathe in right now feels like, like, oh my, and afterwards coming home, like, this is where I've had symptoms most times is after the workout, that I feel it in my chest feels tight, and I like have a little bit of a cough. And that's what has always made me wonder if I have exercise induced asthma, because it's the after a high intensity workout that it's hard to recover from. But I talked to my mom a little bit, and, cause she has dealt with asthma for a long time and stuff. And I just need to I don't know what to tell the doctors, because I just feel like, when I did first talk about it, I was like, here's an inhaler, good luck. And to say like, this doesn't work, I don't know what to tell them to make them like listen to me or look at other things and like actually rule some things out. My mom was like, just tell them you can't breathe and it hurts. Like, I mean, when it comes to breathing and stuff, go ahead.
I was going to say, you just got to be your biggest advocate and be like, I want answers. Let's try everything.
Yeah. And like, so when it comes to breathing, that's a pretty big deal. So you can't just kind of shrug that off. But as we know, our healthcare system's just so messed up right now.
It's
but
unavoidable.
I need to figure out insurance for sure. And like, I'm comfortable with the, my, what do you call it? Like regular doctor, general physician that I have right now, and talking to her. And I do think she will listen, but it's just like, what happens after, like, how much can she do before it has to be someone else? And does insurance cover that, like, specialty or whatever it might be? But it's becoming a problem. It's been something I've been dealing with for years, but it feels like I cannot handle it anymore, and it's just getting worse, and it's affecting my daily life, of that I just don't want to fucking do anything because I'm like afraid I can't. I don't want to do anything with anybody because any little thing, even fucking like walking, going on a hike with a couple of my girlfriends, I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm going on a hike with you guys. You like power hike this shit, and it makes me feel worse about myself trying to keep up or being so out of breath and so far behind you guys that none of it's fun for me. I'm not spending quality time with you guys. I'm back here fucking dying and wondering what the hell's wrong with me. So it's like sucking the joy out of anything I have in life. Like, all I want to do is hang out with my dogs.
Yeah, that's not fun, dude. I'm sorry you're experiencing that.
Yeah, I just hope that I can figure something out and find an answer of some sort, at least, because again, I feel like it's a few things, not just one thing that's going to be, here's the answer and now I can go be like an endurance athlete or something. I never have been, but man, I'm 36 and it's just, like I said, getting worse, and I feel like that's stopping me from a lot of things. Like I said, it's just stopping me from doing the things that I truly enjoy. And then what is going to happen? Like, because I'm just like, oh cool, I just don't even want to live this lifestyle anymore because I can't, so I'll just go move to a city and be sedentary. Like, obviously I don't think that will ever really happen, but it's just, I understand. And I mentioned this the last time, how people who have maybe never been exposed to these things, like how it's so hard to get going because it takes so much time and effort to do it, but let alone coming back from like an injury or sickness. Like, it is so hard to know what you were capable of or still are and just feel so far away from it. It's mental fuckery, really.
Totally.
But
oh God, yeah, I full on hear you. That's terrifying. And it's like, is this part of getting older? Like, you just get bitch slapped when you've lived your life a certain way for so long, and then these things come up and you're like, what the actual fuck is happening?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, is this just the new reality? But it's like, no, like cannot be. But yeah, so since I've been home, I've just been trying to tune in, figure things out, take things slow, and just right back to work and whatnot. But hopefully in August, I get out a little bit more. I was thinking, how I think we've done it 2 years in a row now, the August like miles, the Strava challenge, where it's kind of get as many miles as you can doing anything. We should do that again
Yeah,
because
definitely. That would
you
be.
just,
I've been I've been in a lull since coming back from Sturdy Dirty. I've been inactive. I've been tired. And I think the tiredness is because of being inactive. Although I did go on a fucking run last week, which I never, ever, ever do that. And I did it with
wow,
my roommate and we did 3 miles, like pretty
that's
consecutively. We
awesome.
did a Peloton run. Bless
Oh,
Peloton,
cool.
man. I really forgot how much I love those workouts. They are
I
so
know I should
great.
be,
They're
I've been
so
even
fucking good.
avoiding the bike, my stationary bike. I did a couple rides, but that's awesome. That is awesome. Does Brittany run
Yeah.
a lot?
She's really active. She's really, really active. She works out like 3 times a week, does yoga most of the time. She runs, yes, but not as much as she does yoga. She's been also going to like V classes. She's an inspiration. She actually got my ass out running, and I ran as much as I did, A, because of Peloton and because of her. So it was just like really great to like find that place with her. And I hope we can probably hopefully we can get one in again this week, maybe tomorrow or something. I'll touch base with her, especially since it's been cooler. It
Mm-hmm.
makes it so much easier to do shit.
See, there
And
you go.
I
That's how
I
you can
loved,
enjoy that weather.
yeah,
Is
totally,
looking
totally,
at it
totally,
that way.
totally. And I was thinking of it the other day, and when we did those workouts at my house in the morning, outside, I was like, shit, I better start doing that more often because I won't be able to here soon come
Mm-hmm.
October, November. So
Mm-hmm.
I think doing the miles challenge would be an awesome way to get my body moving and grooving again. I did go mountain biking with Quincy on Sunday though, and it was very, very quick. A lot of pump tracking. But it was awesome. There was the one trail feedback that we did, which he hadn't done before because it's usually a bit of a climb, and the little boy doesn't like the hills, which I totally get, and I already think
Totally
that I need
get.
to get him a bigger bike because his little legs and those tiny gears and those tiny wheels. I'm like, dude, we need to upgrade you. Um, again, again, freaking
Yeah.
again. But he did it, and he did awesome, and we stayed safe. Nobody crashed. And yeah, it was really great. It had been a while since he and I had went mountain biking together before, and it lit my life up. We actually, and I before we started recording, I was talking to Taryn about how the gray days like put me in a bit of a funk. Um, and I also feel like because Quincy and I had a killer weekend. We went kayaking on Friday. We went to a car show and like like a few different parties on Saturday, like barbecue, graduation situations, and then mountain biking on Sunday. And I think that it was just like such a high of a weekend that like coming back to reality from that really, those endorphins, that serotonin just like crashed.
It's like
So yeah, I
coming
think that
back from
that has something to
vacation.
do with. Totally. This weekend was just like such a dream, and I had him for like extra time, and it was so great. It was really good to reconnect with the boy like that. I feel like I hadn't spent that much time with him since the separation, so it was just like major major highlight for me. And yeah, I crashed yesterday in terms of emotionally and
I
money
mean, that
wise.
makes that makes a lot of sense. And because if you haven't spent that much time with him, especially doing these things outside that you love doing and he was enjoying, and then all of a sudden Monday rolls around, it's back to work, it's gray outside, just all kind of just matches the mood.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's so hard too. For one, just like as when we were kids, you don't want summer to end. It's so great. And then for you that weekend, probably feeling the same way. Like, I don't want summer to end. This is so fun that we're out getting, like, doing this fun stuff every day.
Yes.
Now, if Monday would have rolled around and you would have been amped to go do something and Quincy was like not into it, or vice versa, like just both your moods matched, it would have been kind of that gradual like downgrade together or something. Like, okay, we're both just back to Monday, but
we were both
then
kind
it's
of whooped.
Oh
He
yeah.
didn't want to do anything. He was tired. I was like, feel free to play your video games, my dude. I'm not gonna harp on you too hard, but also stop watching bullshit on YouTube. The struggle. I don't know how to deal with that one, but
yeah, screens.
part of the times, I think.
Absolutely.
Just like monitoring what he's actually watching.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, we've always had video games, and we've talked about that. Like, we had them when we were young, but just kids these days, there's more, I don't know, pressure on it, because then they're like talking about it at school or something, and like, oh, did you see that? Did you play that? I don't know. I don't remember talking about, did you beat that level in Mario?
I just stress about, like, it changing the kids' brains, especially the type of games that are out now with the, like, shoot it just
and
a
lot more violence.
Your parents, did your parents regulate you like on screen time, or were they just like, hey, you do whatever?
No, but okay, I say no, but I think, like, in a way, because I remember being like in elementary school, we had to come home and do our homework first before we could go do anything, like go play outside. So it's come home, sit down at this little desk and do my homework. But it would be because I want to go outside and play.
Yeah. Not to play video games or watch.
Yeah, there was like a couple shows maybe, but so I'm sure there was times that my parents had to say like, okay, go outside, and that would mostly be when my mom was like trying to clean the house and she's like, get outside, like just leave, go play. But for the most part, it definitely wasn't a daily battle, that's for sure. And you know, we obviously had a bedtime, and that's the thing too that might make a big difference, is that once it was bedtime, we went to our rooms and went to bed. We didn't have, you know, phones that we could be on in our bed. We did have computers. My mom was a huge computer nerd, so we each had our own computer, like in our room from a young age. Like, we each, just me and my brother. But my dad, I swear, both of them, like, really could just hear anything. So it's like, I wouldn't be up and on my computer, because back then you could hear the fucking thing running, you know? You'd be able to hear that thing turn on. The keyboard. Absolutely. So I couldn't do that quietly anyways, or they'd somehow see the light under the door or whatever. So I think there's a few things that made it a little bit easier to control it. And we just happened to be kids who loved being outside, or we were so active in the winter with like wrestling that we were tired when it came to nighttime anyways. But yeah, for the most part, like I said, I think we just had the personalities to be outside a little bit more, but it was just a different time, and there's just more pressure on kids to be able to talk about this stuff at school or together, and that they want to be with just on it. And I don't know, more things available that are interesting. I just didn't want to play Donkey Kong for 5 hours, but
I fucking hate video games.
Some people did. So do I. Do I. TK liked them. TK played video games, and I mean, I played Nintendo for sure, but he had like some I did a couple computer games, like when The Sims came out. I was into that. I'd do that for hours, but that was also older, middle school, so not quite as young as it's happening now. And TK was into, he played Doom and some other World of Warcraft. those
Yep.
computer games. But again, he was a bit older then, where my parents weren't so like worried about screen time, because we were also so active outside of that it was like you said, for Monday, right? You did so much this weekend that you're like, yeah, dude, go ahead, hang out, play your video games. It's fine. We have a balance here.
Uh-huh.
But for the most part, I fucking hate it. I hate being an adult, and people still. Man, when I was in Washington, I think Jason asked me to come over. Like, we're gonna play Mario Kart or something. I'm like, I am not coming over to your house to drink cheap liquor and beer and play video games, because I am not 15 and this is not my only option. Like, I love you
Yeah.
so much and want to hang out, but I didn't really enjoy doing this when I was 15. It was, like I said, just the only option to go drink in a basement and watch these dudes play video games. Not today, though.
Yeah. No, not today. Especially in the
Yeah.
middle of summer. Like, no.
Yeah. I mean, it
No.
was nighttime, but still. Um, but yeah, it's fucking wild to me. I can also sit and watch shitty ass reality TV for hours, so I can't
We
talk
all
too
have our
much about
things,
people who
yeah.
want to play video games. So yeah, we all have our
When you're
things for
responsible for
sure.
another human's brain development, it's a whole nother struggle, though.
Yeah, I can't
And I feel
imagine. I
like
can't imagine.
of his friends at school, his other friends' parents are significantly more strict about screen time, and more encouraging about getting them into like sports, like football, soccer, basketball. And like I'm here for letting him play video games because I think that it's good for the hand-eye coordination and like it could benefit him in that way. And I also am not the type of parent where I'm like, yeah, go to school, play football and soccer. Like I want to endorse alternative sports for him
Mm-hmm.
and a wide range of alternative sports. Like he's done rock climbing, he does mountain biking, we go hiking, we go backpacking. There's like it's snow sports. Like I you gotta give young kids multiple options so that they could figure out what works out best for them. And
Yeah,
then also fall's coming
absolutely.
around, so I'll probably get the boy in like track or something because that he loves to run. Not
Oh,
necessarily
good.
distance. We did the cross country, but yeah, I'm gonna look into some fall track for him because he's doing soccer now.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna
so
ask.
perfect. I just love him.
Oh, that's awesome. So he's liking soccer
Yeah.
still.
Yeah,
That's
he's
good.
liking soccer. He enjoyed the tournament, and I think that we're going to commit to future tournaments, which he's
Oh,
got
he
one
did a
not this
tournament.
weekend, but yeah, he did the tournament. He did it.
Oh,
And I
cool.
was only able to go to one game, and I felt so bad for missing the others, but I had like a work engagement that I had committed to prior, and then the other one was Sunday, and I just needed to do Sunday things like go to Costco. Um, so yeah, I missed two of his games, but I went to one, and he's doing so well. I'm just so proud
That's
of
awesome.
him. Even amongst all the video game and YouTube watching,
Yeah.
it's all a balance for everything in life.
Well, like you mentioned too, just having the options, right, of being able to try different things and like, what do I like? TK and Jen are doing that, where sometimes it seems crazy, as not being a parent, to see all the different activities at the young age that they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a mix of emotions for me, of like on their behalf, of like, wow, you guys are, the energy and time it takes for you guys to do this all, is mind blowing. But the attention span of the children, and especially at their young age, yeah, the exposure to
Yeah.
these things is really cool. We didn't get the exposure to all those things. We were playing outside with our bikes and our friends, and jumping out of trees and stuff, which they will still do, but they're
Yeah.
also trying tennis and soccer,
Swimming.
swimming, piano lessons are next. They found a piano on, I think, Facebook Marketplace for like free or something. So just so many things. And I love that these kids are getting exposed to so many things. Again, not being the parent and being the aunt, I just want to form these children into what I want. And I'm like, no, I want you to be a soccer player and a wrestler and a biker. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, parent your children how you want. It's not my kid. But I sure hope she ends up loving these things that I love, so I can pass some of my legacy on through her. But and Colin and everyone. But it's really cool and fun watching them learn and try all these things, and hopefully, when they get to the older ages, now they know what they enjoy more. And it could be team sports, it could be individual sports, it could be action sports, or no organized sport, just being active outside. I think that is the most important part as a human being in general, is having some part of your life that you're active outdoors, because it doesn't have to be you do X amount of miles a week at this intensity, but just that you like to sit outside or something. You can appreciate you get outside, you get your body outside. Are you sitting outside and working in the sun and that's it? Cool, great, whatever. And moving your body a little bit, because we all just obviously need that. But yeah, it's really cool to just see the kids try different things, and that you do these things with Quincy, getting him out with hiking, kayaking, biking, because again, those are things that I wasn't exposed to. I was full team sports, and it's great. I love them. They taught me so many lessons. I still love to play them so much, and I'm so happy that later in my life I did get into these other things, and now I can have the best of both worlds. So having the exposure at a young age like that is really cool and important, I think. Again, just getting them used to moving their body and outside. Yeah,
because like at his age, I didn't even know that some of these things were an option. You know what I mean? So
exactly. Yeah. Well, because they weren't for us.
Yeah.
They weren't for us because, for one, mountain biking, totally different world in the 90s. Not many people were. Yeah, exactly. Like TK was a BMXer. Yep. BMX and skateboarding and stuff, which obviously are still alive and well, but also for us, just the accessibility. Like, we had parents who worked, and I mean, my mom didn't work. She had that privilege, but she still had a home to run. It's not like just because she wasn't working that she had time that, okay, we're just going to go on a hike every day. We still had a very structured life of Monday through Friday, with my dad working his job that was still school, dinner, and in the summer we just played outside with our friends. We weren't driving around going on hikes, and we camped when I was younger, mostly because when my dad worked out of town, he would be like living in his camper, and we'd go out and spend the weekend with him or whatever. So we got exposure to that stuff at a young age, but as we got older, that got harder to do too. But it's not accessible to everybody to be able to do that stuff, to try those things, and whether it's financially or time or whatever. So to be able to give that to your kid is just amazing in itself, that they can experience it. And I think that we both have the appreciation that we didn't have those things when we were younger, but we got ourselves to these points. We got ourselves to go snowboarding. We taught ourselves to do that. We paid for our way to go figure that out. We got jobs to be able to get passes.
Yep.
We didn't get handed these things. We made it work. And we figured out ways to do it and ways to try it. And we did that on our own by saying like, oh, that looks cool, I want to try it. Or we knew a friend who went. So we're like, yeah, let's go. I want to try that too. And there's a lot of people who just don't take those chances or don't do it, are a little bit scared to try it either by themselves or venture out or whatever. And that's where we've had these conversations with women who don't do these things until they're much older, like talking to Taylor Ann and the woman at the bike park who was, I think, in her 50s or something. And
Yeah.
it's just started and going for it. It's like, holy cow, we did start doing this stuff at a young age. And there's many people out there who still haven't tried or didn't start till their 30s, 40s, 50s. So I think it's just important that it is not too late, right? We can still try things, but that's why I
Never
also
too late.
Yeah, never too late. And that's why I also really want to figure out what the fudge is going on with my body, because I know that there are things out there that I haven't done or tried that I still could and may find out about or may want to. And if I'm feeling this way now about the things I already love, then it's really going to stop me from doing anything new. And I don't ever want to be at the point where I don't want to try new things. So gotta figure it out. But it will be perfect to do the Strava Miles challenge for the third year in a row. Excuse me, because like I said, this episode is live on August 1st. So we can just make that announcement now that we're gonna do it. And as a quick kind of overview of it, and we could talk more details in it, like in Instagram and in the following episode, but it is a super low key, like it's a challenge, quote unquote, in Strava, but for us, it is just a group, a kind of an accountability group. Like join, you set your own kind of goal of how many miles you want to complete in August, and you can do these miles in any way. It is not strictly running, strictly biking, strictly paddling. Anything you're doing that's moving your body forward in distance counts. So a half a mile walk down the road counts towards your mileage goal. So if you think about all the things you enjoy doing, that can help you get to your goal. Like 50 miles would seem, if I was trying to just run 50 miles, like that's a lot because I fucking hate running. Walking, it's a lot because walking just takes more time. But if I think about biking counts, paddling counts, walking, running, all these things can count towards it, then it makes it more achievable. And that's the most important thing about setting goals in a smart way, is knowing that they are achievable. Because if you set your goals too high and you out of the gate don't think you can achieve it, you're probably not going to, because that's the mental block right there immediately. So if you want to join, you are feeling in a lull and you just need a little bit of accountability, you need something to work towards, because I know for me personally, setting a goal can help me stay a little more structured and get to it, because there's something kind of there at the finish line. Like, you know what? I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to do it. I spoke this out loud. I put it in this group. I'm going to stick to it. And if you don't make that goal, it's whatever, nobody cares. But we will open that back up, put links in the show notes and in Instagram and all that, so people can join. And again, it's just a accountability kind of support group of like, just get your body moving, because it's August and summer will be over quickly. But both here in Tahoe and there in Washington, and maybe where a lot of you are, September these days is still really nice too. We still have a lot of daylight savings hasn't happened yet, so by no means is it like the last month to get activity in, but it just kind of, for us, helps you milk all of the juice out of summer itself by like just spend the last full month of summer doing the fun summery things. So yeah, I'm excited to start. I thought about it the other day and totally forgot to text you, so I'm glad it came up in this and we can actually get it out at the beginning of the month, and everyone has a full 31 days to reach your mileage goal. And like I said, even for me, I'll probably do less miles than I did last year because of everything I've just said, how I'm feeling. And I want to be able to reach this goal. And you can always change it. You say, hey, I'm going to shoot for 25. You reach 25 in a couple weeks, up it 10 more miles, 5 more miles, 20 more miles, whatever. So I'm going to start low, knowing that I can raise that bar on how I'm feeling, what my schedule is, and I suggest you all do the same. If you're worried about like kind of setting something too high, or you don't know where to start, and I can pull some information maybe from the previous years, just to give some people some reference or whatnot. But if you do track your stuff already, just kind of look at what your weekly average is when you're like most active or something, and try to figure it out from there. But like I said, it doesn't really matter anyways. So don't get too stuck
but it does.
on that.
It does, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it does, but it doesn't. Only to you. And mostly we just don't want this to be something that you would feel disappointed in afterwards. That's my biggest thing, is this is all just for about feeling good and moving your body, giving you that little extra push to get out and move. So
and
the last thing I'd want is for someone to feel bad.
Summer.
Yeah, totally. The most
I like that
light.
one the most.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get that going. I don't think I have any other like updates or anything off the top of my head that is coming up quite yet. I know in the next couple weeks we'll have some awesome guests that are going to be talking about events coming in September. I will say for anyone in Tahoe, we are going to have a cornhole tournament for the Truckee Wrestling Club on Labor Day, and our flyer hopefully will be live next week. But it would be really awesome for any of you Truckee locals to join the cornhole tournament as a team, register, and help this amazing club raise some money for all sorts of things, new equipment, just our tournament fees, sponsors, or not sponsorships, but scholarships for low income families. This money goes to a lot of good things, and who doesn't love a great game of cornhole?
Dude,
so that tournament will be soon.
I've been getting into it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So stay tuned for that September 1st in Truckee. Help support one of my other endeavors, which is just the Truckee Wrestling Club. And speaking of support, ways to support us, as always, the free, most easy way is subscribing to the show on Apple or Spotify, leaving reviews. I think on Apple you can actually leave a written review. On Spotify you can just do a star, but actually you might be able to comment on actual episodes now. So that's always cool and fun and just a way to be interactive. But for sure, quick and easy is to subscribe and review. The other way that you can support us is by buying us a coffee. All these links are in our show notes every week. That money is just a donation, in-kind donation, pure from your heart, to support the podcast. I am trying to raise money specifically for the Outdoor Media Summit this year, because I got approved for a ticket that I had to apply for and then do a Zoom interview for, just so they could say, yeah, now you can buy a ticket. Like, what? So that's in October, but like all the donations from Buy Me a Coffee go towards all these things and helping grow the podcast and continue to produce it. And yeah, like I said, at least rate and review us and subscribe, please, on Apple or Spotify.
It's free, and it takes only moments.
Takes only moments. That's my PSA of the day. I was going to hit you guys with that in the beginning, but I forgot. So anyways, and most of you probably skipped the outro to hear it all. So anyways, that's it for me. You got anything, Amber?
No, dog. I'm excited to be motivated to get miles in.
Yeah,
and take advantage of the last month of summer.
Totally. Which is crazy. Can't believe we're in August. But mostly because what I'm worried about or freaking out about is because it'll slow down, like at the restaurant and brewery. So I'm like, mother of goodness gracious, I've got like 4 weeks to hustle and stack some cash because it'll slow down, and your girl needs to be able to have a schedule that she can coach and it's really hard to do that with the restaurant. So I mean, I really have till November to figure that out, but it'll be slow moving after Labor Day in that world. So it's gonna be a crazy August.
Yeah, which is good.
It is.
Busy
it
is
is.
good.
Busy is good. Busy is good. But it's better than just stagnant. But anyways, folks, that's all for now. We got some awesome guests coming up in the next couple weeks. I think we've got 3 lined up, but we'll pop in between them, give you all another TNA update. And as always, too, leave us your feedback. You got someone who should be on the show, let us know. You got any topic ideas, questions, answers. Yeah, you can give us answers. Anything, let us know. Find us on the gram, email us. Again, all that information is on the website and in the show notes. So we'll talk to you next week. Goodbye. We hope you enjoyed this episode and would do us a huge favor, since we don't have any sponsors or anything like that, and would rate and review us on whatever platform it is you use, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, whatever it is. And if you're listening and downloading just through the website, tearingituppodcast.com, leave comments. We'll definitely engage back with you. And on social media right now, we're just on Instagram. Tearing It Up Podcast is the handle. Like the post, share the post, comment on the post, whatever it is you got. Show us your love so we just stay relevant and show up in the rankings at all. So again, rate and review, please, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.